right, here we go. 30 seconds to the start of our next match. This is going to be between Team Bro Army and SD Crush. Now, SD Crush had a fantastic first game this morning against Swarm. They won both breakouts 5 alive, took that game 2-0 without having to shoot any paintballs. Really interesting match. I wish we would have filmed it, but we are going to get to see them get a little bit of action in on the right side of your screen as Team Bro Army is breaking out on the left. So 4 guns up for Bro Army as they send a runner out to the Dorito side corner, as SD Crush making absolutely no extra time getting into the Snake 1 off the break, but they did lose a player trying to get out wide on the Dorito side. So a big fill from a pocket play as Bro Army is going to go ahead and try to do a little bit of damage control on the Snake side of the field. They move a player into the Snake side insert and to the Snake side can to try to gain a little bit of control down that side of the field here. Now, lots of communication that I'm hearing between the SD Crush players, specifically between the player in the back center and the back Snake can, making sure that they are aware that Team Bro Army is actively trying to push a player up into the Snake. All right. Bro Army making it into Dorito 1, immediately getting chopped up by the player in the Snake over here. All right, so Dorito side Temple sounds like is the call from SD Crush, as Team Bro Army trying again to fill into that Dorito 1. Looked like he made it fine. So interesting point stepping up that high, but it looks like he's found a bit of a blind spot from the inside of the field as he does get a shot in on the SD Crush player on that Dorito side Temple. That is going to be very important to keep an eye on that Dorito side of the field now. I believe that SD Crush only has 2 players left. No, 3. I can just see the home bunker on the right side of the field. I believe they've got a player in home, as the player for Bro Army is begging for a gun battle here down the tape of the Snake here. Was not able to bait him out into a shot. He's going to see if they can get a couple of balls dropped in on this player in Snake 1. All right, so the player in the Snake corner for SD Crush definitely has some pipes on him. You can hear him yelling home, back left, Snake 1, making sure that the remaining teammates that he has know what's going on. Excellent move, breaking all the way out to the Dorito side of the field, getting a nice spread on things. So making sure that they're working together, saying, all right, just stay inside. Yeah, keep your cross, stay inside, I've got your back. He does have, or the Bro Army player would have to bridge a gap in order to get to the SD Crush player. But man, I don't know if I would have moved into D1 from that. He was in a pretty good spot in that tower, but he is getting paint in on, dropping in very close to the player in Snake 3 for Bro Army. Oh, so he lost the gun battle down the tape. It looks like he was clipped on the elbow. So now they need to go ahead and communicate, make sure they know it's just back left and home. So they took it back from a 2-on-3. Now he's looking in for a gun battle. Oh, just missed him with his first couple of shots coming out that left side there. He's probably a right-handed player. Doing the chicken dance a little bit. And, you know, it's interesting to me that the player for Bro Army hasn't looked inside in a decent amount of time. He's relying on his player in the center to keep control of everybody on the Dorito side of the field. All right, so SD Crush finding a nice blind spot, just walking casually up into the 50, getting his gun up, trying to see if he can get a couple of shots in on these players here, which is going to open up a very nice opportunity for his player to move down into the Snake. Now, nice move, ghosting up into the tower. He's got to be very careful trying to call his shot on the other player. Can't get caught pointing. You need to keep your gun up, man. All right, so they don't know that he made it to the other side of the Snake here. SD Crush has not yet seen the player on, or I'm sorry, Bro Army does not yet know that the player on SD Crush is in there, but if he stands up, he'll get a nice, oh, they know he is at now, but if he stands up, he'll have a nice shot on the player on the Dorito side tower for Bro Army, so he's got to be very smart right now. Can't go too much further forward. Now, if I was the player in this can, on the Snake side can, he needs to be looking outside right now. Oh. Oh, he almost caught him sleeping. All right, look, so it looks like he's just trying to wrap inside, trying to see if he can get a shot down the highway. Now, rather than widening the field of view, they're tightening it. But against a player in a Snake, trying to play that small they were able to pull that up. So, man, if this was a higher division, I would say they have a little bit of mental work to go on, need to work on their geometry a little bit, but they came in when they needed to. They were able to stop. Actually, what was a really good move up the center of the field there. He thought he'd won a gun battle with the player in that snake side corner and then just got complacent and got taken out by the only other player left remaining for Team Bro Army. So the thumb goes up there. So Bro Army is going to go ahead and go up 1-0 right here in the race to 2 against SD Crush. And every time I come to Las Vegas, I forget chapstick. You'd think I would learn by now. Slow to learn. Very slow to learn. And this is gonna suck at a couple hours. All right, so the sun is starting to shine a little bit higher now. It's definitely getting warmer on me as I'm out of the shade. That'll definitely be getting on the guns, warming up the paint a little bit. So these players need to make sure that they continue to chronograph their equipment throughout the day as we are having some temperature fluctuations. We are not filming the next match. All right, so this break is brought to you by APX Gear, providing the paint today. Obviously, Air Ups Bunker, thank you very much for getting me out to the field this morning. Even brought me to Starbucks. Thanks, Starbucks. Which you should totally sponsor our league, because your coffee is delicious. Starbucks gives me the energy that I need to talk about paintball. Yeah, it's close to a commercial, right? Pay me. All right, so parabolic paintball. I've got a really funny story to tell you guys. Well, not funny, but I got a really cool story to tell you guys later. But I'm gonna wait until I get it filmed.
10 seconds.
My barrels just did something really cool that I really want to share with you guys. All right, so 5 seconds left to the start of our second half of this game. SD Crush on the left, Team Bro Army, which is up 1-0 out on the right, making a move back out into the snake side corner. Not as graciously as the first run he made, but they're probably right-handed players is what it looked like. All right, so SD Crush just dominating the outside of the snake right now from that corner. Oh, got a little bit too greedy, lost the gun battle with the player in the snake side cake there. Just went out a little bit too far after pinning in the player on the right. So, Bro Army having players in the Dorito side corner, Dorito side tower. I can't see the home from here. I'm assuming that there's a player in there. They've got a player in the snake side cake as well, and snake side tan. Now, SD Crush making it into snake 1, looking on the outside. They also have a player, or looking on the inside. They also have a player on the Dorito side tower, and somebody moving up into Dorito 1. So they have a well-balanced attack mounted right now. As SD Crush, or as Bro Army getting up into that center tower there, or that snake side tower, trying to see if he can get a shot in on the player on snake 1, or at least put some pressure on him. Now, there's nobody stopping the player on Team Bro Army right now from getting into the snake, so I don't know if he thinks he's found a couple of really nice shots from where he's at. Maybe he does have a drop on that player in Dorito 1, or maybe nobody has just told him to go in, as they did lose their support in the center of the field there. So Bro Army losing a body out of the snake side temple there. So a little bit of swab action needing to happen here for the Bro Army player going into that snake insert. So that's probably what's holding him up right now. He wants to make sure that he's got shots available when he needs them. All right, so you hear him calling out Snake 1, Snake is hot. Players, again, still in Dorito 1 for both teams right now. Both teams have players in the snake, or the Dorito side towers. All right, the game is definitely slowed down right now as both teams trying to regain their composure and get something productive going on here. All right, so SD Crush now moving up into the snake. He's in snake 2. Now he does have a shot from there on the inside to drop in onto the Dorito 1 player, who is just standing out in the open as they, missed a shot and let the SD player fill all the way out into the snake side corner. But he's got to be careful not to come out too far like the player ahead of him did in that position and get clipped out. Oh, Michaela calling an elimination out of Dorito 1. So Bro Army losing that player in the Doritos that they needed to help balance that side of the field. An immediate fill out to Dorito 1. Good move by them. I really like what I'm seeing out of these guys this game as they won the gun battle down the tape. So SD Crush losing their player in in the snake side corner, also losing their player out of the snake side tower. But they did get a player into Dorito too, close to the inside of the field. So they do have 2 players in attack position. He's about to drop the hammer down the highway. Nice move, switch on the inside, try to see if he can drop a shot on the player in that Dorito. And the time has expired for the match. So Bro Army takes that 1-0, and it was about to be 2-0 with an excellent move down the middle of the field. I think he might have even got both those kills. So signing out for now. Are we live? Not live yet, so you guys are going to be reading this on a recording, or John's going to edit that out, depending on how much work he has to do. So, signing off for now. Make sure you guys tune in with the channel and stay in for some red zone action. This is the most intense ball you will ever see. Signing out.